friends, welcome to Once Upon a Pipe. I am in a wonderful little park, Wellington Park, and it's a nice place. It's not very quiet because it does set kind of in the middle, in between a business district and New Circle Road, which is just a couple hundred yards over that way. So there's a lot of traffic, a lot of noise, but you can still get away for a minute. And yeah, for being in the city, it's a nice little area. As you can see, it's got some nice vegetation. There's a little creek that runs through here. It's not very high. I'm actually standing in the creek bed, which, you know, probably where I'm standing, there should be some water, but there's not. So I want to share with you a little bit about this pipe and what I'm smoking. This is a Star Meerschaum metal shank pipe. It was on one of my previous videos this year, and let me tell you, it's really, really nice. A lot of people ask me about, does this get hot? This does not get hot at all. At least I've never had that experience. And in my pipe today, thanks to Jess Steer, good pipe buddy down there in Berea, he attended the Muletown Pipe Show and brought back a sampler. It was a 5-pack Sutliff sampler, and this right here is the Sutliff Z92 Vanilla Custard Cream. And I can tell you this is a pretty strong aromatic. Definitely on the moist side, as a lot of the Sutliff aromatics are. Pretty rich flavor and rich room note. So, Star Meerschaum metal shank pipe. I'll put a link to it in the description. Well, this is April, and it's been a whirlwind of a few months for this year. One of the things I had originally intended on doing was posting a couple of videos in February, and I ended up getting a little distracted by the Asbury revival, is what they're calling it. Some people are calling it an outpouring, an awakening, whatever you want to term it, but it was definitely a spiritual event that was not orchestrated by the university, but it was total God thing, and the testimonies that are coming from that are absolutely incredible. I know there are a lot of naysayers, but the reason I got sidetracked on those videos in February is because I ended up volunteering to work the revival, and I mainly just stood at the door and let people in as there were seats available. But that was a good service, and I've also been busy, as this year I was accepted the position to be the club manager for the Wings Flight Club. So that, along with tons of other stuff going on with kids and church and school, yeah, I've kept pretty busy. I'm discovering that the world is a crazy, crazy place. And what I mean by that is that It seems like it's always been crazy, but it's getting crazier um, by the minute. Uh, there are so many things I could say right there, but um, anyone that is following the news and keeping up with the events just knows this world is insane. So we need good things. We need good things to happen, so we're not dwelling on the bad, because it's so easy to gravitate to the bad news, when really, when you turn on your news, whatever platform you use to get that, you're seeing more negative than good. Um, so I want to share with you good news, and in how to make that good news. It's probably not going to be news that anyone is going to see on their major networks. You know, it's not going to be on Fox. It's not going to be on CNN, MSNBC, or anything like that. We have to become the agents of good news. So one of the things that I do pretty much on a regular basis is I pray that God will send someone across my path, someone that I can be a blessing to, or someone that will be a blessing to me. And I tell you what, that's how you make good news. I'm going to give you an example from the other day. And I am by no means an exceptional person. I would say I am very average. There's nothing super about my faith, about my walk with Jesus. I'm an ordinary guy, right? But I do ask God to use me. And so in that prayer, I texted a friend of mine, very dear friend, and I said, Andrew, man, please pray for my day. Pray that I will be a blessing to someone, or can be blessed by someone. I don't know who God's going to bring across my path. So that was about 9:35, 9:40 in the morning. A couple hours later, at 11 o'clock, the UPS man comes through our office door, and he's got a package. But the package isn't for me, it's not for my boss, it's for the guy next door, right? And I try to help him out. I don't want his packages sent back, so I'll take them for him, and then somehow work out to get it into his hands. Well, what I normally do is I take a picture of the package and I send it to him, just to let him know, hey, here's a package that you got. And he'll contact me back through text and just say, okay, leave it by the gate, or put it here, put it there. Well, this time I didn't get a response. I just took the picture, no response. And I guess it was about 10 minutes later, he came, the guy next door who the package was for, came in through the office door. And he was there to pick up the package, and we were talking, and my boss heard him, so he came out from the office and just said good morning, and asked him how he was going, and said, hey, I heard that you had a relative that passed away. Well, the guy said, yeah, it was my brother. He died a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and we were very close. And it's a really tough loss. And so everything stopped for a moment as my boss and I talk to our friend next door, and we just let him share about his brother, and just kind of going through those last few days that he spent with him, and it was good for him to talk to us about that. And so, you know, at the end, when he's getting ready to go, he reached out to us, and he asked us, he said, hey, would you mind praying for me and for my nephew, which would be his brother's son, because his nephew works for him next door. And we said sure. So he reached out his hand, and he grabbed my hand, and grabbed my boss's hand, and we all stood there and holding hands and praying. And my boss and I prayed for him, and he was so thankful. He says, you know, guys, I needed that. And I was like, wow. So after he left, my boss and I were talking. It just amazing what God can do, and who he will bring across your path. And we really don't know what is going on in people's lives. Now, I do remember seeing our friend next door. I don't know, it was a week or two prior to him stopping in the other day, and we just kind of waved each other across the fence and just, you know, kind of friendly hello. But that time when I was doing that, I mean, I had no idea that his brother was dying. So we invited him to come in any time that he wants to talk and just share memories about his brother. And I think that's a good thing. Very good thing. Well, another incident that happened, and again, you know, this isn't like really a big deal, but my son is preparing for his driving test to get his intermediate permit so he can drive by himself. So we went out there to where they give the test, and my other son and I were taking him through the course, and I saw this guy with his lady friend out there practicing. They're from the Congo, and I noticed something was not right about the car, and I looked down and I saw that the right passenger tire, front passenger tire, was really flat, and I was like, man, they can't be driving on that. So I waved them down, and I said, hey, man, did you know you've got a flat tire? And he's like, oh no, I didn't know, I didn't see that. And so I said, okay, I think I've got a pump in my car. So I got the little electric pump out and was putting air in his tire, and got a chance to meet him and his friend there. And I thought, what a cool experience. You know, here I would have hated for them to get back on the road, because they lived all the way on the other side, north side of town, and be on a flat tire and be stranded somewhere. So, you know, that was, I love that God brought those people right across my path. And that's how you make good news in a world that's full of bad news. You know, find out who you can be a blessing to. And one thing for sure, you'll be blessed. You know, let me tell you, Jess Steer, he texted me and said, hey Johnson, I'm headed down to the Muletown Pipe Show, and this was a month or so ago, and he said, I'm gonna be, you know, scoping out some stuff. I couldn't make it, so he said, you know, is there anything you want me to get for you? I said, no, just, you know, pick something and we'll square up later. So he got me that Sutliff sample pack. He got me a nice Sutliff cap, which I'm not wearing right now because it's in my motorcycle. And we met up at an airport, Central Kentucky Regional Airport in Richmond, where he gave me those gifts, and then I was able to take him and two of his kids flying. What a wonderful time and what a wonderful blessing. That was good news for me in a world full of bad news. But I had a wonderful time with Jess and his kids and just flying over that area of Kentucky. I let him fly a little bit, and we just had a wonderful time. So what I want to encourage you to do is, in this craziness, man, find out who you can be a blessing to. Create your own good news in this world. Probably won't be on any major networks or any local networks, but you'll know. And I think that's what's important. God will know, and that's even more important. Yeah, let's do that. Let's create some good news in a world full of bad. That creek bed is. Where I'm walking right now, I mean, the water comes up this high. You can see our little dam right there. We had some windstorms that came through Kentucky not too terribly long ago. As a matter of fact, our church suffered some damage from that, and I was lucky our house didn't suffer too bad. But yeah, we had a little bit of wind damage, so it's been crazy. There was a barn that got blown down. You know, trampolines ended up in other people's yards. My neighbor's yard, his backyard was almost completely destroyed. So we're still actually, a lot of people are still trying to recover from that storm. But this is a gorgeous spring day. High is only 53 today. It was 85 last week. And in fact, I rode my motorcycle just about every day. Not able to do that this week. I don't think. It was 31 degrees when I left for work this morning, and I just don't have the motivation to put on all those clothes and strip them off. Sometimes, man, you got to dress for two different seasons. Here's a nice little bridge. You got to dress for the cold morning and then the hot afternoon. It really is, with the sun on this side, it really is a nice little getaway. So I'm just killing some time. Basically, I have to pick my son up at ballet here in about 10 minutes. And this is close enough by to where I could get out here and take a nice little lunch. Enjoy this wonderful Sutliff aromatic in my Star Meerschaum metal shank pipe. It's always good to see people out enjoying the warmer weather, I should say. Yeah, it's ended up being a beautiful day here in the bluegrass. All right, my friends, as always, I greatly appreciate you tuning in to Once Upon a Pipe. May God bless all of you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.